Okay, so I'm going to just show you a couple of extra things you can do if you want to do, or your students may figure out on their own because they may have learned it in my classroom, or they've done this at home, or they're just playing with it. So I'm going to go back to where my name is, again, making sure your students log in, clicking My Stuff, going to the Penguin Habitat Project, and clicking See Inside. Now, instructions, you could tell your students to write animation will happen when the green flag is clicked. Um, I made this in my science class. You don't want students to be writing their name because we want to keep their name off of social media. And this is a website where anybody can get on it and anybody can access it and comment on it. It's also a very well managed platform. So if students are doing anything that's not appropriate or they don't like a comment, they will ban your account. They will tell you as a teacher. So there's a lot of safety nets in play, but this particular platform, you are allowed to remix. It's called open source, meaning anyone can take any project, remix it, and do something else to it. It allows for a lot of bigger collaboration type projects or to just learn from one another. So if you want, you can say I made this in my science class, but don't write the school, don't write student's name in this box, don't have their name any way connected to a Scratch project. You'll also see that there are comments. You can have students turn off comments, or as a digital citizenship lesson, you can have them learn how to write effective comments. Like, I really liked how your penguin slid on the iceberg. And they can write in comments. So if you can use it as a teaching tool, you don't have to. Some of the students will figure out how to comment without a teacher. Some will never notice it. In this case, I'm just going to go and see inside. What I'm going to show you next is just some playful things that may come up with the students, and it is up to you if you want to allow it. One is they love playing with sound. So if you go here, you're going to see different choices. I'm going to choose sound, and I'm just going to write water. You notice I have sounds, plunge, oops, I clicked it by accident, rain. I'm going to use the plunge. And so let's see, I want the plunge, so I'm going to go in sound, and I'm going to write play sound plunge. I'm going to take my penguin and I'm going to put him in the water. So it looks like it's in the water. And I'm going to go to motion. And again, looking at that X and Y, notice how it lines up. I'm going to put it in. Now your students are starting to learn how to use my two favorite blocks, which is the show and hide. And I'm going to put a hide. But because I'm putting a hide, I need to, in the beginning, put a show, because eventually my character is going to disappear. If there was no show here, so I'll show you what's going to happen if I didn't put that. It's going to go through everything. And just have it do one time. Of course, it's still reading that it wants it twice, but I'm going to let it play out. So it has a nice little sound effect and it moves in. But now, oh, I did a hide show. I didn't mean to. Okay, I'm going to take that. I make mistakes too. I'm going to turn this into 1 so we only have to watch it once. Well, when I hit the green flag, it's disappeared. So once you hide something, it doesn't know to come back unless you hit the show button. Then it knows to come back. And I was also thinking, I'm going to loop it twice because you don't normally do just one. And I want it to glide, plunge, and then glide. Wait 1 second. It's going to glide. Actually, I'm just going to hide. Just so you can see what will happen. Oops. Change this to 1 just so we only have to watch it once. So it's slowly moving. It's reading it. It glides. And then it disappears because it went into the water. The best typer or it's a struggle for them, one accommodation that you can use is the place sound. We talked about how the place sound might have plunge in it, if you wanted different sounds. And as you can see, I kind of took away the other blocks to go back to what we were working on. I'm looking at the play sound plunge, and if I look and I click, it says record. This is where you can have your students do recording. And this shows you whether the volume is good. When you click on it, hit do play. Recording. And this shows you whether you can hit save. Again, labeling is really important. So when I add it to, I would change to information. This could be used for each one of the sentences. I could have done one that said hello, and it would have played hello. I'm a penguin and I live in Antarctica. That could have been the next one. So I could have done this. Hit record, or gone into sound. Said, I am a penguin and I live in Antarctica. And then I hit save, and I'm going to call this one. And then I now have that. So instead of saying this block, I would just put this block and it would be voice. Because I do know that some students, you're thinking about what is the purpose in this lesson. Was it for them to write complete sentences and put it into Scratch to create this animation? Was it about finding the facts and then being able to display them? Is it about students understanding what is a loop, what the X and Y axis is, and how to write an algorithm in Scratch? So you want to think about what is the purpose? This project had a lot of purposes. You were teaching students to have multiple tabs. You were teaching students how to find creative common images, how to remove the background, how they can have a character talk and move and talk and move, how you're initializing the project, because in all coding projects, they have to have some type of initializing, which means starting in the same spot every single time you start it. So you are teaching quite a bit. So it just depends. Are the complete sentences important, or is being able to talk in complete sentences important? And the information important? Just think about that as you're doing this project. Now here it says save now. Sometimes that's going to appear if it doesn't automatically save. You want to hit that if you see it. Sometimes it'll have an orange bar that goes across that says try again or download. When students see that, it is good for them to just download and save a copy.